Welcome back to the Homebuyer Hotspot, where we help homeowners and buyers make smart, confident real estate decisions. I'm your host, Jennifer Fanning, concierge loan officer and biggest fan of my clients. And today's episode is especially for homeowners thinking about selling or wondering if now is the right time to move. Joining me is my very dear friend, Kaveeta with Realty, a top realtor in Delray Beach, Florida, who specializes in helping sellers maximize their value and minimize their stress. Kaveeta, welcome to the show.
Thank you. So glad to be here.
I'm super excited for you to be here. So tell my listeners how they can contact you if they have a home that they need to sell or they are wanting to buy in the Delray Beach area.
Well, if they want to reach me, they could reach out to me through my direct line, which is 561-313-7445. And I usually most often answer. And if I'm not answering, it's because I'm with a client, most likely.
Right. So send a text message.
Send a text and I'll respond and then follow up with a phone call. And then the other way, if you would like to reach me, you can email me at k.east@langrealty.com or visit my website.
You have a website?
Yeah, it's through our Lang Realty, our incredible company. It's kaveeta.langrealty.com. And you can search for properties. You can send me a message. You can research neighborhoods here in Delray or anywhere, actually, So
that's awesome. That sounds like a great website. Well, today's show, we're going to be focusing on what sellers need to know about the Delray Beach market, how to position your home to sell successfully, and how homeowners can buy their next home before selling without chaos, with using some great smart marketing strategies. So let's dive in. All right, Kaveeta. So this is the big question that sellers are asking. Is now a good time to sell in Delray Beach?
Now's the time to sell. Any time is the time to sell. There's no particular time to sell in Delray because it's always the right time to sell in Delray. We are a lifestyle driven city and it's always desirable throughout the year. I think of it as strategy over timing. That is my big thing.
Okay, that's really so strategy over timing. Okay, so you're saying if they hire the right agent who has great strategies, i.e. you, then really the timing doesn't matter because you are well known in this market, you have a pulse on this market, and you know how to get things sold then, right?
Correct. Pricing, positioning is strategy. Yes.
Okay.
Year round.
So that leads into my next question, which is how has the seller experience changed compared to like the peak of the market a few years ago when everybody was moving here?
Experience. Let me think. The frenzy was bidding wars, low inventory, complete different market. It's now today present, we have more inventory and pricing means everything. The value that a buyer sees in the price they're paying.
That's right, because a house is only worth what someone is willing to buy it for, correct?
Correct. Okay. In their eyes. You want to put yourself in the buyer's shoes for sure.
Right, exactly. So are there certain price points or neighborhoods that sell faster than others that you've noticed recently?
Yeah, from my experience, let's see, let's think about the sales and the buyers and sellers I've worked with. Things that move are usually things that are turnkey, again, positioning, priced well, and aside or even coupled with if it's near the buyer that's looking for a more luxury home near the ocean, or the buyer that wants to be closer to the hubbub that our downtown, our desirable downtown, our oh so fun downtown, or if it's a family looking for A-rated schools, those are the homes that are selling. Yeah.
I remember when I first moved to Boynton Beach, which is right next to Delray Beach. My friends were like, "Oh, you have to go downtown Delray," and I'm like, "What's the big hubbub?" I did, and it's amazing. Like that whole Atlantic Avenue has great restaurants, bars, art galleries, so much, and then it literally drives itself right into the ocean.
Yes, and I have to say our office is downtown. I'm in the middle of it. We're like
Oh,
3 streets from the beach, so I witness it every day, year round.
that's
Yeah.
amazing. That's
Mhm.
amazing. You're so fortunate. That's amazing.
Yeah, yeah,
So
love
from
it.
the lending side, I'm seeing that buyers are still active, but they are definitely more intentional, which
Hmm.
means, that sellers need strategy, just like you said, not hope. And I'm assuming that you agree with that statement based on what you just said.
Yes, I do.
Mhm.
Yes, they are more intentional. That is a big, big thing. They are
Yeah.
more intentional. We're
Hmm.
not, they're buying not necessarily with emotion. They're buying with value in mind. Yes,
Hmm.
and the work that they need to do or not do, you know? Yeah,
Right.
very conscious.
I tell my buyers all the time, this is not an emotional decision. This is a financial decision. And sometimes buyers don't want to hear that,
Hmm.
because people want to fall in love, have the experience, you know, and you should love your home, but you
You
also
should.
need to look at the financial part and does it really make sense and do the numbers line up?
Yes,
I
yes.
feel like during the boom, it was all just emotional buying for people. And
Hmm.
that's why people were willing to spend 50,000, 100,000 over asking
Right,
to win the bid. There's some crazy stuff that was happening, but I feel like that
right,
was all emotion driven. And now
right.
I'm seeing in today's market that people can actually pause a little bit and really put on that financial hat and
Hmm.
not just think
Correct.
with their emotions.
I
So what's
agree.
so, what's the advice that you would give homeowners who want to price their house high because they've done all these upgrades or they just feel like their home is so much better than their neighbors and they just want to do it for a little while just to see what happens? What's your advice? What do you tell people like that?
Your house is going to go stale. It's going to sit. The first 2 to 3 weeks matter. You want to price correctly from the get go. You could leave a little room for
Hmm.
negotiation. Maybe I would price like anywhere from 5 to 10% over list price for negotiation's sake. But honestly, you want to price so the property moves and it doesn't go stale. Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that myself is that the properties that seem to be priced well are the ones that my clients are calling me about and asking me to run numbers on. The
Hmm.
properties that are not priced well, they're literally just scrolling past and not even going inside.
Yes, yeah, you want to price correctly from the get-go.
I agree. So, what data do you rely on most to determine the right price in today's market?
Strictly closed sales successes,
Okay.
closed
Okay.
sales successes. Then I'm also looking at currently listed properties that go under contract at the time of
Okay.
listing the property. Because then that's
Okay.
showing us that, I'm looking at the days on market, and if it's under like 35% of homes in Delray approximately sell, after 30 days being on the market. So I'm looking at days on market on the ones that go pending. Yeah.
Okay. To really see how long they were there. Like I'm up in Palm Coast now, and the
Mhm.
average day on the market up here is 100 days, believe it or not, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, we've had an increase days on market from last year.
Mhm.
It's at 90, like 91 to 100 and something days. It's
Okay.
it's an increase of like, I don't know, 30%
Okay.
increase of days on market from last year
Right.
compared to current. Yeah, late
I've
year and
sold
current.
I've sold like 12 houses in my lifetime. And I think that
Hmm.
that's pretty normal. The days of listing it and selling it in a weekend, that's
Hmm.
not normal unless
No,
it's
it's
really below value, unless you're really super aggressive with
right.
pricing.
And yeah, and if it's below value, it's location of the property
Mhm.
that doesn't match anything else, desirability, even if it does need work, it's closing that weekend or going under contract that weekend, not closing, but going
Right,
under contract. Yeah.
absolutely. So what are the
Mhm.
top three things that you would tell sellers that they should do before listing their homes?
I would start with decluttering, depersonalizing. What else would I tell them to do? Curb appeal when a buyer walks up, that is the very first thing they notice. And then what else? Just doing repairs that are visible, like walking into a house. If you have a patch on the ceiling, get rid of that patch on the ceiling. So
Yeah,
the
because the
buyers.
inspector that they hire is going to ask what happened and make you
Yeah.
spend money.
Well, and they're not questioning. They're not marking
Mm,
it off their lists of the 5 homes they went to see that day. They're keeping it
right.
on their list because they're not seeing something that's a deterrent. Yeah.
Right, because right now there's more homes on the market than there are buyers.
Yes.
At least that's what I was reading in a national newspaper recently.
Me too.
Is that
Same.
there's 45% more sellers than there are buyers in the market. So buyers really have a lot
Control.
of homes to, yeah, control. They
And they
have a
have
lot of
control.
homes to pick from.
Yeah, because in the frenzy, the sellers were in control.
Yes. Are you kidding me? The sellers called all the shots.
All the shots.
Poor
Yeah.
buyers, the poor
Settle
buyers
down.
have no hope.
And they were landing, they were calling the shots and landing it. So that
Exactly,
was a complete
exactly.
different market. Yeah.
That's right. So from my side, I'm always reminding sellers that their financial strategy matters just as much as their listing strategy, especially if they're already buying. So I work with quite a few people, they're upgrading their home or downsizing their home, that they're doing something where they have a home to sell and they have a new home that they want to go to.
Right.
So those strategies definitely matter. And one of the biggest fears that I hear homeowners say is, how do I sell my home and buy the next one without being homeless? That's a big concern. Rushed. People don't want to be rushed. And they also don't want to be stuck in temporary housing. So do you hear this concern very often? And if you do, what are some of the solutions that
Are
you
you
have?
talking about like a contingent sale, like a buyer
Yeah,
seller?
I'm talking about like they have a house to sell and then they need to find their next house.
It's
So how
doable.
do you, it is, I just closed
Yeah.
one this week.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
how do you help manage that for people?
I help manage it from having a game plan, strategy,
Okay.
positioning the sale of the home
Okay.
and talking them through the steps of what's going to
Okay.
happen once we go
All
under
right.
contract,
Yep.
and then identifying as simultaneously you're identifying where they
Mhm.
want to be.
Right.
Sometimes a defined seller that's wearing these two hats, selling and
Mhm.
buying, they
Yep.
know what they're doing. They're downsizing or they
Yeah.
want to move from a condo to a house. Yeah.
It's not as a fear, it's not quite as fearful as buying your first home. When you're buying your
No.
first home, you don't know anything.
No, transition is what people fear,
Yeah.
but it's doable.
It's
You
100%.
you just had
It,
one.
that's
Yeah.
right. It's 100% doable. So I'm assuming that we're seeing sellers take more contingent offers, right? Where people make an offer,
Yes.
they have a house to sell. So I'm
Yes.
assuming that people are taking more of those. So that's good.
Especially if you're working with an agent
Hmm.
that's representing you well, and structuring the contract,
Hmm.
a contingent contract with defined terms. It'll be a success
Yes.
infinitely. Yeah. From beginning to end.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
then I've got a program that I just closed with one of my buyers who is moving from New York. So winter is not a great time to sell your house in New York, but she found the house that she wanted in South Florida. And
Hmm.
so when we were talking about it, originally when I first talked to her, she thought she would buy spring 2026. And we were just kind of putting financial ducks in a row, making sure that things worked for her. And then she found this house that she was like, she called me. She said, Jennifer, I have to have this house. What do I need to do?
I
And
love
so
it. I love those
and
kind of
and
buyers.
and I've got this buy now sell later loan program that
Hmm.
allowed her, because she had stuff she wanted to do in her house in New York to get it ready to sell. She had lived there for 15 years. She wanted to paint. There were some things she wanted to do.
Yeah, I think, sorry to cut you off, but I think I asked you and you said it did exist and I had no idea. Sellers that are looking to buy have no idea this exists.
Exactly, exactly. So all they have to do is sign a piece of paper saying that they're going to list their house within 90 days of purchasing and closing
Okay.
on the new house. So my lady in New York, she had extra cash in a 401k that she could withdraw in order to put the percentage down that she wanted to put down on the new house. So she withdrew it. If she didn't have that, she has tons of equity. So I would have just done a bridge loan to pull that equity out. So
Okay.
then we closed on her new house. And in the time frame, the 30, actually we wrote a 45-day contract, but in that time frame, she listed her house. And then as we were getting close to closing on her new house, her old house sold. And so it all just kind of worked itself out. And at the end of it, she was so happy because she was like, Jennifer, you took away so much of my stress.
Yes. And that's the thing. You and I have worked together, and I think having the right team on your side, lender, realtor,
Mhm.
writing, knowing that you write a 45-day contract as opposed to a
Yes.
30,
Yes.
and just guiding you through the two processes, selling and the
Mhm.
buying, you know? And again, I'm speaking from experience. I'm not speaking pulling this out of thin air. I am speaking from
Right.
experience. And we've had those
Exactly.
experiences together. Yeah.
Yes, we absolutely have people who I've seen, heard from other people, deals falling apart when they don't have experienced realtors, they don't have an experienced lender, and they're trying to buy and sell simultaneously. There's no backup plans because the lender doesn't have one. And things fall apart. And so that's why, I'm always talking to people about that, buy now,
Well,
sell later.
educating, it's
Mhm,
not only about positioning and
mhm,
pricing, it's
mhm.
educating the seller,
100%.
educating the buyer. We are the professionals. We're running a
Mhm,
business. It goes without saying. I'm just saying it right
mhm.
now for those that are listening. This is what I go off of, and it's important to
Exactly.
me. It's solid. Yeah.
I 100% agree.
Yay.
Yay! So, are you seeing? So, okay, so when you've got a seller who needs to sell, also want to buy, so
Mhm.
are you seeing that the house that they're trying to buy, if they need to make a contingent offer, are you seeing that that's kind of poo-pooed by the other seller? Or I'm assuming that right now that's okay,
You know
correct?
what? I mean, in all honesty,
Mm-hmm.
again, speaking
Mm-hmm.
from a
Yeah.
lot of deals and experience,
Mm-hmm.
no matter how you coach them, ultimately
Yeah.
they're going to make the decision. Say, I'm the
Mm-hmm.
seller. I want to take the offer that does not have extra contingencies. The only
Yeah.
contingencies they really want to see, if you're in that category of the buyer getting financing,
Yeah.
the inspection, and they don't want to see that added contingency. However, I've written offers and they've been accepted with that contingency where the buyer needs to sell in order to purchase.
I agree. And I think this
And
is
it's
the perfect
again,
market for that, actually.
Again, my favorite word in this industry is doable. It's doable. We just got to work with it.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that are doable that people don't think
Doable.
are. So let's switch gears now and talk about how sellers can maximize their sales price while keeping their stress low. What
Hmm.
mistakes do you see that sellers make that end up costing them money in the long run?
Pricing emotionally, bar none.
Yep.
Pricing emotionally, which is
Hmm.
pricing too high. And
Yeah.
then the property once again goes stale. Not okay. So just say we list price correctly,
Hmm.
but flexibility in showings that you got to put yourself in the buyer's shoes. They're not allowing the buyer in. So the buyer's going to be like, oh, I'm done with that property, moving on to the next.
Oh
You
yeah,
know,
because there's so many properties now,
yes,
and
inventory.
I had someone in my pipeline that was trying to sell and buy, and they were that person. And the person was like, nope, nope. If I'm not home, you can't sell the house because I have to take the dog for a walk or whatever the
Okay.
reason was. And
Yes,
they
yes.
actually never ended up selling because the house just was not accessible to people.
Well, I have so many thoughts running through my head. Again,
Hmm.
from the get-go, educating your seller. You
Hmm.
are working with the seller because they hired you and you build a level of trust between you, and they should be taking your advice seriously. You're listing the home to sell. We want
Yeah.
to sell it. You need to be flexible on showings and
I
allow the
agree.
buyers
I
in.
agree. And I think that sellers and buyers, they need to
Mhm.
listen to the professionals that they've hired to walk them through this process because
Yeah.
otherwise it ends up being panic decisions, financial regret. There's things that happen that
Well,
they didn't intend to cause, but that they
yeah.
actually did cause.
Well, and I'm so passionate about steps,
Mm-hmm.
Again, the word infinitely
Yep.
from the get-go. You will have success from the get-go if
Mhm.
you do the right thing, which is you're
I
you're,
agree.
you're putting your house up for
Mhm.
sale, sell it.
Correct. Yeah, don't
Yeah.
put it for sale just to have people walk through.
Yeah.
And not at a real price. And there's some listings that I see. I'm like, do you just enjoy having your life interrupted because this price is so much higher than anything else
It's
in
like,
your
hello,
neighborhood? Yeah, yeah,
hello. This is
exactly.
this is not really like for fun. This is a serious thing.
Exactly.
You have an end goal. So let's reach the goal from the get-go.
So without naming names, can you share a recent seller situation that required some very careful planning?
No, I not really. I haven't had
Okay.
again because I'm so detailed and particular from the
Mhm.
get-go that I haven't really had a whole lot of pushback. You know what I
Right.
mean? For my last few
Good.
sellers.
That's good.
Yeah, because I put a plan in place and I'm like, all right, so are
This
you
is what we're
ready to
following,
go?
everybody.
Yeah,
so
not too
your
many complications.
so your perfect client is someone who likes lists and likes order, right? Because that's
Yeah,
what you
and I'm the same way. I'm very hands-on.
do.
Listen, if you need me to be there, I'm going to be there. I don't need to hang a
Awesome.
lockbox. Yes, I'm available often. In
And
this job,
I can attest that you are. We had a deal together that the HOA was being persnickety and wanted paperwork delivered by hand or
hand.
snail mail. And
Yes.
our poor client couldn't get off work to go do it. And the office hours were like 9 o'clock to 4. And those were, my client's work hours. And I literally picked up the phone and called you. I was like, Kaveeta, I need this paperwork taken to this HOA office so that the client can get approved so that we can move forward. And you were like, done.
Yes, done. And I've done it, you know, more times than you can think, just because I'm very hands-on and I'm driven to get, once we're under contract, to get the deal done,
Yes,
close.
absolutely. So
It's our job.
looking ahead, what do
Uh-huh.
you see for sellers in the Delray Beach market specifically over the next 6 to 12 months? What are kind of your predictions as to the
From
market?
what I'm experiencing and hearing and being in the office,
Mhm.
and interacting with other agents and clients, I have my thought is this. I think in the next 6 to 12 months, it's going to be a steady and balanced market.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing too. I really think that home prices are just going to kind of level out,
Yeah.
level out.
Yes.
And with interest rates coming back down, I feel like there's more buyers trickling into the market. So I
Yes.
definitely do not think we're going to be in a seller's market anytime soon. But I
No.
do think, like you said, things are going to balance out a little bit more, which
Yes.
means that buyers who
That's
are
fine.
serious will need
Hmm.
to listen to advice and really make strong offers, not lowball people,
Right.
if it's a little
Right.
bit more of a balanced market.
Yes.
So
100% agree. Hmm.
what's the biggest piece of advice that you'd give the homeowners out there who are thinking about selling in this next year, but not really sure as to when they want to list their house? What would you say?
I would say start with a game plan. So if they're 6 months out, a CMA, you could have your agent show you current closed sales, but then as you move closer and out of the 6 month wait, then you'll run another set of successes and see where you should be priced.
Okay.
Positioning the house to sell, getting the house ready with repairs, painting, making it a blank, more so for the buyer to
Okay.
see the home.
What
They
the
want
home
to
is.
see the home, declutter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not your stuff.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
Stage the house. Yeah.
Yes. Now, do you ever advise the people to have a pre-listing that they do an inspection first so that they really
I've
know what repairs need to be
Yeah,
done?
I've had a handful of buyers or sellers, I'm sorry, sellers
Mhm.
that
Hmm.
I've put it in front of them. Maybe we should have an inspection done so you know exactly what needs to be addressed. And
Right.
they've gone ahead and taken the advice and done the pre-inspection.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
takes
I actually
surprises
just
out.
closed on a property in Palm Beach County that we did a pre-inspection, and it was so helpful.
Yeah. Well, it makes it easier because then like you have your inspection report and then the buyers have theirs. And if their inspector comes up with something new, like you
well,
can
also that house was built in the early 70s, so it was actually ideal to do that.
yeah. I mean, Florida, that's an old house. So if you're listening from up north, we know 1970s is a new house for you.
Yeah, in Florida, because and I'm probably saying that because it was a
Mm.
one owner home, and they took care of the home. It was in great condition. It was just the hidden things, that an
Yes.
inspector might find within their scope, obviously. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
All the little things. So let's do a quick rapid fire of just some quick questions.
Okay.
And then we'll move on. Okay, so the biggest mistake that sellers make in today's market.
Overpricing with emotion.
Darn emotions.
Yes, lots of emotions. I have emotions, but my emotions are well calculated in this industry. I think sellers pricing emotionally, not okay, because you should price based on facts from your agent. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. So what is the best upgrade for greatest return on your investment before selling?
Painting, decluttering, and painting repairs. Doing also making sure when you walk up to the property, curb appeal is there.
Yeah, that makes a big difference.
First impression. Yeah.
So should the sellers renovate or just refresh?
Refresh.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I've seen people actually go and do renovations prior to selling and then be so disappointed that they didn't recoup 100% the cost of the renovation because you just felt.
Yeah, and I use the terminology blank canvas. Refresh meaning if your walls are like a cobalt blue, make them white, open up the home with light.
Yeah, people don't see past the colors that maybe you as a homeowner love, but are not popular. Like our home that we bought was a nightmare. And it was on the market.
I saw the videos of you remodeling the home.
Yes.
Demolition.
Well, and the colors were atrocious. And I think that's why it was on the market for over 200 days because literally the bathroom was hot pink. The living room was blue. And I do too, but not in that context. No. And then the living room was blue and a dark green and everything was just dark and
That's
weird.
Crazy town.
Town. And then my house looked completely different after I hired painters that came in and painted neutral. And I was like,
it looks beautiful. It does. It looks
Thank
great.
you. So what's the best time of year to list your home in Delray Beach?
It's strategy over timing in Delray Beach.
Yeah.
All year round is a good time.
I agree that Delray is a year round. People up north, you would say up north, it would be spring, early spring is the best time to list because people want to buy and move before the end of summer. But in Delray Beach, where the sun always shines and there's always something to do.
And again, I'm speaking from feedback, people walking into our office off Atlantic Avenue, and this is happening year round. Yes, it's a little more quiet in the summer, but you still have people walking in with the desire to move there because of lifestyle and just desirability, access to the ocean, like you said, sunny, bright, pretty much year round.
Yes, it is. Delray is so beautiful. So, all right, so we're gonna do something that I have never done on this show before.
Okay.
So I'm gonna ask you some questions just so that viewers can get to know you.
Okay.
You are, and they're kind of random.
Okay, and I'm gonna ask them back to you as well.
Oh boy, I'm not ready for that.
No? Okay. I know. Don't be shy. You're not shy. So
no, I'm not shy.
I think I'm more shy than you are.
Yes, that is very true.
All right.
Okay, here we go.
I'm ready.
What's the best sandwich?
What's the best sandwich? Can I pick two?
Sure.
Okay, my first sandwich would be a Jersey Mike's Italian with Munster cheese. And my second favorite would be a turkey sandwich.
Awesome.
From
Publix. So what's the one thing you own that you really should throw out?
Okay. I'll be nice about my pajamas, my tatted up pajamas that I just can't part with.
Do you still wear them or they just sit in a drawer?
Oh, no, I wear them and they're either knotted or pinned or, I make them work. I
That's so
love
funny.
pajamas.
That's so funny. So all right, next question. What's the scariest animal?
Snake.
I agree.
You don't have a snake, do you?
No. No, my daughter dated a guy that had like a pet python, and she was like, yeah, and she was like, we need to babysit this snake while he's out of town. I'm like, no, that snake is not coming in my house.
No,
No,
thank you.
that is a hard no.
I have a little quick story about a snake, a baby snake. I bought a condo, my first condo in Delray back in early 2000s. And my cat, Maggie, was pushing around something. It looked like a worm, but I knew it wasn't a worm because the head went up like a snake. It was a baby snake that she was pushing around. I don't know how it got in the house.
I'd be like, eat it.
I'm a Florida girl. I have other snake stories, but I'll save them for another time.
I'm sure you do. Okay, apples or oranges? What's your favorite?
Apples. I carry apples in my purse and I eat them, whether I'm at work or in the car. Yeah, it's my
less messy than an orange.
Yeah.
Have you ever asked someone for their autograph?
Yes. Oh my gosh, yes. Simon Le Bon. Met him in person.
So
got his
fun.
Autograph. Duran.
Okay.
All my glory.
Here's a deep question, super deep question. What happens when you die?
I believe in eternal life. So I believe our soul splits from our body, our soul spirit, however you want to say it, splits from our body and goes to heaven for eternal life.
Agreed. Ding, ding, ding. Okay, so I don't have one of these, but I'll be curious to see if you do. So what is your favorite action movie?
You're going to laugh. Rush Hour. You remember that from the 90s?
Yes.
Chris Tucker?
Vaguely remember that.
It's so silly. And then I like the Die Hard movies.
Oh, yeah. I've watched those. My husband loves all those. So, is exercising worth it? Yes or no?
Yes. It gives me energy. It's not, for me, it's not appearance, it's energy. Yeah.
Agreed. Flat or sparkling when we're talking about water?
Sparkling. I
love sparkling water too. So what is the most used app on your phone?
Instagram.
Yeah. You get to listen to one song for the rest of your life. What would it be?
Duran Duran's Save a Prayer.
Love that. Okay, and here, this one's really weird. What number am I thinking of? Between 1 and 10.
7.
You're right. How'd you know that?
Come on. I'm a mind reader.
I was. See, that means people really need to hire you.
Yes,
because you'll anticipate what they need before they even say it.
For sure. Definitely. Yay.
Okay, so describe the rest of your life in 5 words.
Well, rest of my life in 5 words. Let's see. Believe. Apply to all areas of life. Believe in everything that you do. People in your life, etc., etc. Growth. Family.
Yep.
Not in any order, right?
Yep. Not in any order.
Healthy.
Yep.
And happy. And now I'm going to ask you the same questions.
Okay, let's do it.
You ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
What's your favorite sandwich, or what's the best sandwich in your eyes?
Yeah, my favorite sandwich is, the bread has to be homemade and the wheat has to be fresh ground.
Okay.
So good.
Wow, that's good.
And then I love chicken salad. So like your leftover chicken chopped and
yummy.
With like something crunchy in it and a little bit of apple and some cranberries. Super yummy. That's my favorite.
Better.
Yeah.
What's one thing that you really should throw out that you haven't?
The dog bed. The dog bed needs to go to the curb. It smells. And every time I go to pick it up, someone in my house is like, woo.
But then the doggy's going to be upset if you get rid of it.
The dog lays on the couch.
Like wearing holy socks. What's the scariest animal in your eyes?
Definitely a snake. 100% a snake.
Oh, wow.
Always a snake.
Apples or oranges?
I agree with you, apples, because you can 100% take them. It's like the ultimate fast food. It's prepackaged.
Right. Okay. Have you ever asked someone for their autograph?
I have. So you're probably not a country western person, but
I am country western.
Oh, okay. See, that's cool. So I was at a rodeo in Pendleton, Oregon, and I was there with my brother, and he was like, "Hey, Jen, that's George Strait over there. You should go ask him for your autograph. And I'm like, I'm not walking up to some cowboy and just going to ask for his autograph. But then I looked closer and I'm like, holy crap, it really is George Strait who's roping in the rodeo.
No kidding.
Yeah,
Wow.
it really was him.
So
and so I walked up to him and asked him for his autograph, and he
wasn't hesitant. He was nice.
Oh, super, super nice.
That's like Simon Le Bon. He was so kind and sweet. And I was like in heaven.
Yeah.
What do you think happens when we die?
I agree 100% with you that we are body and spirit, and that the spirit separates from the body. And if you're born again and love Jesus, you go to heaven.
Yeah, you go to heaven. Hey, I love that. So what is your favorite action movie?
To be honest, I really don't have one. I suppose maybe Braveheart.
Because, Braveheart.
Yeah, and here's why. Because when I first married my husband looked like Mel Gibson in that movie.
Ooh.
He had like long, curly, crazy hair and big old muscles. I mean, 31 years later, we've changed, but.
Oh, yeah. Whoa. I know.
Yeah.
You're telling me.
Yeah.
Exercising, is it worth it?
100%. You need to do it. It's a mental thing. Like, it helps in all areas of your life.
Wellness. Yeah, wellness. Sparkling or flat?
I like sparkling, but I probably drink flat water more than sparkling.
Yeah, me too. I try to get like 60 to 70 ounces in a day.
Yeah, me too.
What's the most used app on your phone?
I would have to say my mortgage calculator.
Really? I don't doubt you.
Because, I'm constantly running numbers for people, and the mortgage calculator, I used to carry a separate calculator. And then I was like, wait a minute, there's an app for this. Why am I carrying a calculator everywhere I go, plus a cell phone, plus everything else? And so I downloaded the app. And so that's probably my most used.
Gotcha. Okay. What number am I thinking of between 1 and 25?
Between 1 and 25. 17.
Wow. No, that wasn't the one.
Yeah, I'm not a mind reader. And I tell people that all the time.
You got one song to listen to for the rest of your life. What song is it?
I love the song Raise a Hallelujah.
And who?
Don't ask me to tell you that, because even songs that I love, I could not tell you who sings it.
That's okay.
I'm so bad at movie trivia, music trivia. My husband's like, did you grow up and do you live under a rock? And I'm like, maybe.
Yeah, it's funny because I'm getting more into like country rock with a little bit of background of gospel mixed in. I love it. I play it in the background when I'm at home. I also like rock and roll. I even like lyrics to some rap songs. I mean, I just like all genres. I love music.
I like a lot of different kinds of music too.
Yeah, I listen to music all the time. I love it. Yeah. I think it's grounding and soothing and everything that you need it to be.
Yeah, I agree.
So describe your life, the rest of your life, in 5 words.
Family. Agree with you on that one. Family. I would say perseverance, because sometimes, we just need to persevere through things in life, right? Perseverance. I would say faithful, hardworking, and traveling, because I love to travel. Is traveling something? But travel.
Yeah, it's all encompassing. It's not just traveling, it's just good for the soul, right?
Correct. Yeah. Absolutely. See different places and see everything. So Kaveeta, thank you so much for being on my show, and the expertise and your expertise. You have so much knowledge and so much to offer sellers and buyers. I've worked with you many times, and every time I get a purchase contract from you, I know that this is going to be one of the smoothest deals. Because you do not bring crazy. You bring a nice, steady, presence, and we get things done. And it really does matter, because sometimes people bring like chaos, and that makes the transaction chaotic and makes it harder.
Yeah, and that's why we make a good team, because we believe in practicing the same way, executing our deal and getting through it. With being grounded and just working through the nitty gritty of the deal, and getting it to the close.
Yep, 100%. So if you're out there and you're listening and you're in West Palm Beach or Palm Beach County somewhere, and you want to sell a home or buy a home, now is a great time to contact Kaveeta. and ask her to list or help you buy your next home.
Yeah.
And so, Kaveeta, once again, tell my listeners how they can contact you.
They could reach me on my cell, my direct line, which is 561-313-7445. Or you could send me a text or an email, k.eats@langrealty.com. And then I have a website where you could do research, search for properties, send me a private message, ask me questions about what you're seeing at kaveetaeast.langrealty.com.
Excellent. And once again, I'm Jennifer Fanning, your show host. To get a hold of me, all of my details are in my bio here on YouTube. And thank you for tuning into Homebuyer Hotspot. If you found this episode helpful, please subscribe, ring the bell, leave me a message.
Yay.
And share with friends or family who are thinking about buying or selling their home. And we will see you the next episode.